As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization, ARDO, New Delhi, organize this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technologies towards a self-reliant India. Today is 23rd October 2021. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency, the Secretary General, ARDO, New Delhi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome our guest speaker of today's webinar, Mr. Dabish Haroon. He is the director and founder, Tech Rover Didactic Private Limited, Delhi. Today's topic is Technological Renaissance and the Human Capital, a Perspective. Very important title, being addressed today, by a very eminent, young entrepreneur, Mr. Dabish Haroon. The keywords are technological renaissance, the human capital. I wish to inform the participants and the guest speaker that under this international webinar series, these two centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, have organized 49 lectures on the various topics as follows. Open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure. A roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Open source software and industrial IoTs and for SMEs. Free and open source adoption and business models. Open data platform for smart digital government. Open technology imperatives make in India for self-reliance. Edge artificial intelligence. Data governance for self-reliant India. Digital India transforming governance and society. India's email service, citizen@indiamail.com in 22 constitutionally recognized languages. Ecosystem architecture for digital transformation. Education system, cyber critical infrastructure. Seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation networks in digital world for self-reliant economy. This talk was given by Dr. Jabamali Vinanchi Arachi, former principal advisor to the Director General, UNIDO, Vienna. Ensuring food safety and compliance through technology. Digital India, urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India. Technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investments. Entrepreneurship and skill development, AI design pathways. Rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance. Era of automation, industrial robotics, and Industry 4.0, Indo-German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis, and opportunities. Role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research. Role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research. Digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective. Health informatics network value chain, e-health systems and beyond. Leveraging emerging technologies for ensuring transparent and traceable agriculture and food supply chains. Unleash the power of citizen development for enterprise software development. Leveraging emerging technologies for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food supply chains. Unleash the power of citizen development for enterprise software development. E-governance models towards a sustained quality service to citizen backed up by technology. Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities, urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program. Building public digital platform using microservices and APIs. Health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning. Health informatics network value chain and healthcare startup perspective. Health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, interface between machine learning and health informatics. Health informatics network value chain, importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency. Gravity filter, a simple, low-cost solution to the drinking water treatment in rural India. Open source GovTech startups empowering growth with automation. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. National Digital Twin Program, a need for a robust geospatial infrastructure. Industry 4.0 in MSMEs, benefits of indigenously developed CollabCAD and software from National Informatics Center. Mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. Cybersecurity risks, challenges and solutions, intelligence approach to reduce cyber risk. New Internet IPv6 root server toward Atmanirbhar Connected Bharat. Indian startups, reflections and possible policy interventions needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. Blockchain and crypto for digital assets platforms, pathways for global trade. Robot as a service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. Space startups connecting to international markets with emerging business models, enabling technologies for future vision. Vivekananda Secondary Education and Skill Development Mega Project, its potential impact on rural entrepreneurship and the rural economy in India. Sports Grail, a digital sports media platform, and prospects of Indian sports industry sustainability model at a global level. Pharma 4.0, Industry 4.0 applications to pharmaceutical manufacturing, path to a digital transformation, Pharma 4.0. Accelerate and scale non-linear growth through partner ecosystem. Today is the 50th edition of this very important webinar series. We will have the talk by our guest speaker, Mr. Dabish Harun, Director and Founder, Tech Rover Didactic Private Limited, on the topic Technological Renaissance and Human Capital, a Perspective. Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is a road ahead. It is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi of making India a self-reliant nation rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, based on 5 pillars: economy, quantum jump and not incremental; infrastructure, one that represents modern India; system, 21st century technology driven; vibrant demography, source of energy for self-reliant India; and demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. This was announced on 15th May 2020 by the central government. Vocal for local to make it for global system. It is a demand-based economy system which is self-producing and self-consuming. Make in India, make for India, and make for global. These reforms announced have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment, and a robust supply chain. This is our intent. Digital India program aims to transform India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitally empowered society. On 20th February 2019, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology published a report titled India's $1 trillion digital opportunity in collaboration with McKinsey and Company. This report identified about 30 digital themes, if scaled up nationally, can accelerate India's progress in 9 key areas. Digital world, the rise of platform economy is emerging, and digital ecosystems are essential for digital transformation in the digital world. Recent trends in digital economy, the evolving digital economy is closely associated with the you know important technologies and fueled by data. Which are those technologies? Blockchain, data analytics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, internet of things, analytics and robotics, automation and robotics, and cloud computing. Today's topic is technological renaissance and the human capital, and I would like to extend it with in industry, in agriculture, and health for rural India transformation. Human capital refers to the skills and expertise that allows the individual to do their task more productively. How does technology affect human capital? There are also empirical studies that show technologically skill complementarity. The empirical studies show technology does a skill complementarity. It means that each one reinforces the other. That is, technology progress changes the relative demand for skill toward skilled and educated workers, and hence increases investment for human capital. What is the difference between human capital and technology? Technological knowledge differs from human capital, while differs from the human capital in that technological knowledge is society's understanding of the best production methods, while human capital is the amount of understanding of these methods that has been transmitted to the labor force. Human capital can include qualities like education, technical or on the job training, health, mental and emotional well being, punctuality, problem solving, people's management, and communication skills. As such, it is an intangible asset or quality that is not listed on a company's balance sheet. It is hidden. Human capital allows an economy to grow. When human capital increases in areas such as science, education, and management, it leads to increases in innovation and social well-being, especially well-being, equality, increased productivity, improved rates of participation, all of which contribute to economic growth. Let us see the frontier technologies in digital ecosystems in the planet. As specified by United Nations document, it talks about satellites, drones, and and sensors. Satellites, drones, and sensors, cloud and edge computing, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, Internet of Things, platforms and social media, blockchain and distributed databases, open source software and commercial software, and mobile phones and applications, and augmented and virtual reality. But let us see that what the industry, looks at, how industry looks at it. Digital transform technologies, authentication and intrusion detection, 3D printing, smart sensors, augmented reality and wearable devices, analysis of big data and advanced algorithm, user data collection, because data it's a monetization, and advanced human computer interaction, GPS, social media, IoT platforms, mobile phones, and cloud computing. There are about 10 emerging technologies making an impact as published in 2020. Which are they? Artificial intelligence, once again. 5G, IoT, serverless computing, biometrics, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, robotics, natural language processing, and quantum computing. Industry 4.0 or the latest version of Industry 5.0, smart factory or the factory of the future, industrial Internet of Things, and Industry 4.0. These are all the buzzwords that populate a new manufacturing world triggered by digitalization. For our understanding, the smart technology includes cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, industrial Internet of Things, cloud computing, cognitive computing, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, additive manufacturing, simulations, and system integration, etc. Success comes from as to how we understand Industry 4.0 design principles. These have been categorized into as below, and each category is itself a complete value system. It says success comes from as to how we understand Industry 4.0 design principles. The understanding has been categorized into 3 categories, and this itself is a complete value system. Interconnection, connectivity, information transparency, data collection, authentication, analysis, and make it available to the common public for decision making, data monetization. Robotic type technical assistance, freeing humans from doing unsafe and risky jobs, and decentralized decision. So each one is very rightly said it as published. I've taken it from published sources that each one is a complete value system. We need people to be trained. Recent Cisco report, which is published on 27th January 2021 in Economic Times. Small businesses are the bedrock of India's economy. Digitalization of small businesses could contribute $216 billion to the country's GDP. We got about 63 million small and marginal enterprises. You can also label it as a small marginal businesses. This can, if you digitalize them, it can contribute $216 billion additional income to the India's GDP. Our goal is to enable micro, small and medium enterprises in India to accelerate the digital transformation and pave India's way to a $5 trillion economy. Digital transformation, step towards vocal for making it global. And this is, in the same webinar series, I also hosted a talk by, Mr. R.K. Jaybalan. He is also chairperson of an small scale industries association based at Madurai in Tamil Nadu. It was very eye-opening. This talk has come as a paper which has gone for publication in Ardo Journal. In this medium, MSMEs, enterprises are considered as the backbone of our Indian economy. And with over 63 million business units, 3,500 urban clusters, and about 18,000 rural clusters, the sector contributes 29% of India's GDP and 40% of exports and employs over 110 million people. Well-functioning SMEs ecosystem enables a nation to enhance productivity and output across sectors, as well as accelerate the pace of exports. And it enables the development of business landscape across Tier 2, Tier 3 cities and beyond. Digitalization of MSME needed a framework. And MSMEs in many developed countries have progressed considerably in adopting smart technologies towards Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0 using successful manufacturing approaches like inclusion of partners in chain, partner ecosystem, simple and effective ERP-centric approach and open innovations, adoption of agile methodology, innovation labs for demonstration, multiple stakeholder approach, skill and talent development, funding of digital transformation. European Union has undertaken steps to make SME leaders as AI-enabled e-leaders. Sobit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, offer courses for CEOs of SMEs, engineering graduates at MBA level, 2 years program, PG diploma level in 1 year program, and diploma in 6 months program. And MBA in Industry 4.0 course is the need of the hour. Will blockchain lead the technology renaissance in healthcare? I would like to give an example in agriculture, health, and industry, where today's topic is very important. We have to generate health capital. And technology reliance is taking place, but the human capital is not there. And it should not be like, we should not end up in using WhatsApp and email and talking and a video clipping. The technology renaissance has to impact agriculture sector, health sector, and small scale industries, is MSMEs, so that rural India is digitally transformed and GDP grows like anything. Health, I would like to quote it, that healthcare industry generates a lot of data owned by multiple stakeholders, making it prone to data breaches. For example, a patient's data is not fully owned by the patient. It's owned partially by the hospital or the center where the patient gets treated. So his data gets monetized and he doesn't get money out of it. Blockchain technology has started permeating industries, especially where voluminous data needs to be handled with accuracy and where the presence of error can cause serious issues. It is getting penetrating in various industries. Banking was the first industry in which blockchain really got its start. However, like banking, healthcare is another area where zero error accuracy is required. Currently, the healthcare industry is embedded with inefficiency and high administrative costs. Blockchain is on the verge of transforming this healthcare industry through its decentralized principles and transparency-based operations. Sensitive data being breached can lead to severe consequences for patients as well as healthcare providers. Lack of a secure infrastructure and the inability to completely own medical data can lead to some of the ethical concern and moral repercussions that must be addressed. As the former technocrat of Government of India and the former Director General National Informatics Center, now I have been propagating integrated health management system, human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and environmental health, so that in future we don't have to go for lockdown of school, lockdown of factories, and lockdown of community halls, and so on and so forth. And that's why I have been promoting through the university, through the centers of health informatics and computing, and also I'm a principal advisor to an e-health systems technology, an NRI company, to bring in health informatics network value chain. It is a $1 trillion economy, because no medical professionals, medical health informatics professionals are not available knowing artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, big data analytics, cloud computing, and machine learning, and so on and so forth. This is one area where the university has identified is a potential area for creating the human capital with the technology. So we are launching BSc Health Informatics and MSc Health Informatics for biology students. And we also try to bring in 50% of the admission will be earmarked for girl students who understand biology much better. And so India needs health informatics professionals, MSc and BSc in health informatics. I'm putting my request so that you address in your talk appropriately. Health informatics network value chain facilitates more than $1 trillion sustainable economy. Why should we leave? Why can't we get benefit out of it? Second is agriculture sector. From basic farming to productive farming, agricultural informatics, we need about minimum 6 lakhs agricultural informatics professionals. We have to reskill all BS agriculture graduates, and we have to reskill all postgraduates, irrespective of any discipline they come. We have to reskill all B.Tech engineers, BE engineers. And because this COVID has taught a big lesson to us. Agriculture and health and industries are more important for having a sustainable economy. So people are getting into agriculture through IT in agriculture. I was the person who was considered as a father of agricultural informatics. When I was deputy director to the NIC, I was the person who brought IT blueprint for agriculture way back in 95. And I was also the project director for 512 districts computerization way back in 87. That is called District Information System Program, the earlier version of the present day e-government and so on and so forth. And from, information theory of Claude Elwood Shannon in 1948 and Internet of Things of Kevin Aston in 1999, have impacted digital technology applications very decisively. So emerging technologies like genomics, robotics, informatics, and nanotechnology paradigm facilitates digitalization process in agriculture system intensively, and therefore demand for agricultural informatics professional for this paradigm is echoing to bridge the gap of increasing and evolving human resources for IT startups in farming sector throughout the country. The country needs about something like 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups with agricultural informatics, capability. And this is a feature, and the feature of agriculture includes it's based on technology renaissance. It takes place in agriculture at a farm level, at the farmer level. 85% of the operational holders of 14.5 crore operational holders are smaller marginal farmers. So this is very important. Once again, the Sopith University has launched programs in agricultural informatics at MTech level, BTech level, PG diploma level, and diploma level. And then the convergence of technologies, breakthrough spanning biotechnology, nanotechnology, information technology, and cognitive science is driven by artificial intelligence, data flows, computing power, and connectivity. This breakthrough can improve service delivery, productivity, and innovation, but they can also exacerbate inequalities and eliminate people's agency and empowerment. World Development Report to 2021, Data for Better Lives, explores the tremendous potential of the changing data landscape to improve the lives of poor people, while also acknowledging its potential to open backdoors that can harm individuals, businesses, and societies. And it unprecedented growth of data, but much of the value of data remains untapped. It is not analyzed. And economic crisis created by COVID-19 pandemic has accentuated underlying trends such as automation, use of the electronic platform, and the need for lifelong learning. Addressing these demands requires an urgent upskilling and reskilling of the populations, maximizing opportunities and mitigating risk. 3 pathways to the twin goals: livable income and a solid job in the era of disruption, building digital economies for the inclusive growth, fostering resilient societies through social security, and investing in people means generating human capital. So this is a very important thing. This, once again, I'm quoting from the World Bank, reports, which is available, which can be, seen it. With this background, let us turn to the address by our guest speaker, Dabish Haroon, Director and Founder, Tech Rover Didactic Private Limited, on the topic Technological Renaissance and the Human Capital, a Perspective. Tech Rover Didactic, a conscious and purpose-driven startup, is set out with the aim to bridge the gap between industry and academia in order to make novice technocrats conscious. And this startup is also aspiring to build a consensus among technology providers, academia, industry, government, and the students through a co-creative and cooperative ecosystem. I'm very happy to note from your website this statement: cooperative and co-creative. And this topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching our telecast through facebook.com, Sobit University India, or youtube.com, Sobit University in, or linkedin.com/company, Sobit-University, for motivating them to harness the power of transformers, technology, and capital to establish startups for generating required human capital for the country. Let me introduce our guest speaker to the audience. Mr. Dabish Haroon is the director and founder, TechRover Didactic Private Limited, www.techrover.com, Delhi. Education in literal terms is an enlightening experience. This experience becomes worthwhile only if it inculcates curiosity. Self-motivated, passionately curious, enterprising professional with 10 years of work experience. Mr. Dabish Haroon is a self-motivated, passionately curious, enterprising professional with 10 years of work experience. We can always see his smile on his face. Started his career as a graduate engineer trainee in a power plant. Like any novice engineering graduate, always felt to acquire skills relevant to the industry. His aspiration and inquisition drove him to explore the world of industrial automation. With the advent of Industry 4.0, a prominent technological transformational shift in the sector led him to explore more opportunities dedicated to learning new technical skills. He has led a dedicated division for technological education, didactic systems and software at Adroit Control Engineers, and also worked as a program manager at IIT Delhi Automation Industry Association Foundation for Smart Manufacturing, a cross-functional role requiring big picture thinking and holistic approach. His pursuit to learn new technologies, process improvement methodologies to solve specific value system stream problems has led him to yet another challenging role of founder and director at TechRover Didactic, which provides contemporary and industry relevant technical hands. Which provides contemporary and industry relevant technical hands-on learning systems for engineering colleges, universities, vocational training institutes pertaining to electrical, electronics, mechanical, and allied branches of engineering. Thank you very much, Mr. Dabish Haroon, for participating in this today's program, and we welcome you and to the international webinar series on open source digital technologies for self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on the topic technological renaissance and the human capital, a perspective. Even though I have taken much time to introduce the webinar and the associated themes and today's topic to the participants so that they will be able to understand your address thoroughly. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Moni, for this wonderful introduction. It's an honor to be here on this virtual podium. So let me share my screen before I speak on the topic. I hope my screen is visible and yeah, Professor Moni, is it visible? Okay. Yeah.
Sir, it is visible, but sir, do it on the full screen mode, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Fine, sir.
Is it visible now?
So, again, sir, this is not in the full screen. Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay,
Perfectly fine, sir.
fine. So, good morning, everyone. Who has joined us this lovely morning. Uh, First of all, on behalf of Tech Rover Didactic, let me first congratulate and highly appreciate and thank Honorable Chairman Dr. Shobit Kumar, esteemed Chancellor Mr. Kumar Shekhar, and Professor Moni, and all the associates to create such a wonderful virtual podium for diverse stakeholders of education to share ideas, build consensus, and probably conceive actionable outcomes through these diverse pool of ideas and intellectual information that Shobit University is collecting through these webinars. I would also like to thank and appreciate the live audience for taking out their valuable time from their usual schedule for this webinar. And also would like to thank people who will be watching the recorded webinar later. I would again thank you, Professor Moni, for considering us and inviting me to speak on one of the very relevant and I would say important subject that really matters in the current scenario. But before I speak about it, let me also take this opportunity to thank and congratulate Team Shobit on behalf of my mentors, co-founders of Tech Rover Didactic, with whom my entrepreneurial journey began, which culminated to my present, role and responsibility as founder at Tech Rover Didactic. The first generation entrepreneurs, Mr. Dayanand Arya and Mr. Rajesh Gupta, they're leading as founders and directors of a 26-year-old electrical equipment manufacturing and industrial automation company, Droid Control Engineers Private Limited, based in Faridabad and Delhi. So, technological renaissance and the human capital. The confluence of technological renaissance and the human capital was probably realized, more than ever recently when COVID-19 accelerated the arrival of future of the work, and disproportionately impacted, millions of workers, mostly low-skilled workers. Even though we must say, optimism played a major role in, overpowering crisis and certainly kept us, afloat. However, realism played a greater role in reviving the anguished mankind. And one of the key factors that we witnessed, which helped us in this crisis, was probably and certainly it was the role of technology. Say, be it e-commerce or messenger RNA, a never used before technology in therapeutics for making these vaccines for COVID-19, or
Mr. Harun, can you go to the previous slide? Previous slide.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
very important. People let them see that. Just don't rush through. Please take some time and then put it because it's very important slides.
Yeah,
Previous one.
yeah. The previous one,
Hmm.
is it visible now?
No, it is messenger RNAs. Okay, good. No, you take because you are talking about a lot of important things. Let the people also,
Yeah,
get into their mind and then so
sure,
very
sure,
nice.
sure.
Okay.
So, like I said, the key realistic factor that we witnessed, which helped us in this crisis, was the role of technology. So technologies like e-commerce, or technologies used for developing these COVID-19 vaccines like messenger RNA, which was never used before in therapeutics, or remote everything. The technologies that not only helped us to stay connected, but we collaborated. We co-created, which was very essential and critical in health, research, and education. Uh, so all these technologies helped us. Uh, so it's really important here, the confluence of technology and the human capital. It becomes more relevant and consequential, uh, due to the maybe due to uh, the technological disruption or the pandemic. uh, when the world is on the cusp of new technological revolution, maybe industry 4.0, and at the same time when the global economy as a whole is slowing, we see millions of individuals globally have lost their livelihoods, and probably millions more are at risk from the global recession due to pandemic, maybe structural change to the economy, and due to the technological transformation. Uh, and if we see some, recent reports on World Economic Forum, automation and new division of labor, between humans and machines, will disrupt almost 85 million jobs globally, that too in medium and large businesses. And like Professor Moni said, we have to be considerate about small industries and SMEs. So consequentially, most of the employers recognize the value of reskilling their workforce. It's nothing new. Everything what I'm right now is just I'm reiterating something which we all understand. As per some surveys, an average 66% of employers surveyed accept, expect to see return on investment in upskilling. So, you know, there is certainly a new sense of urgency for reskilling revolution. We sometimes say, Industry 4.0. We talk about smart manufacturing. We talk about this technological revolution, but certainly there is also a parallel revolution, an urgency among us, which is reskilling revolution, right? So now, if we talk about technological renaissance, we must ask ourselves, what drives technological renaissance? Or you may call it maybe technological disruption. But there is an old adage, necessity is the mother of invention. And but then we also ask ourselves, what about technological innovation? When we see things changing, things transforming as maybe revolution, we understand that technological innovation is for to keep that invention relevant. But then we also ask ourselves, what's driving that need for innovation? Why do we need innovation? Why do we innovate every day? Why we try to transform everything? One of the reasons we could see is customers' requirement, be it people or an industry. They're changing perception. They need variety of products with wide range, maybe. They need good products, product quality, and that too with the consistency. Every time I buy a product, I would expect it to be of same quality, with same consistency. Probably, for innovative products, there is a high demand for products. So we need these at short cycles. I'm sorry if my presentation is still visible. Professor Moni?
Visible, please. Is visible.
Is it visible?
Yes.
There is some technical glitch, I think.
Now I'm able to read the last sentence: enhancement in process oblique product capabilities.
I'll just refresh it. I think there is
Okay,
some
fine.
technical glitch in my computer. Just a second. I'm afraid there is.
You please come out and then share once again.
Yeah, I just need a few seconds. I think there is some sort of.
Mr. Manish, can you facilitate?
I think it's okay now.
So it
Sorry
is
for this interruption.
minimized, sir. Minimized, sir. Kindly.
Okay.
Is it okay?
So it's showing now, sir.
Okay, fine. So, as I was saying, what's driving the need for innovation is, probably this is, about customer requirement, people or industry, changing perception. They need variety of products. They need good quality products with consistency. Probably they would need these products at at shorter time. So they would need short product cycles. They need to have, they need to have, customers need products with enhanced capabilities, so and so forth. And what are the other, possible factors that could be the reason for this innovation, technological innovation? They say it is an era of mass customization. It used to be mass production before, but right now it's an era of mass customization. So you choose as per your requirement, your need, your choice. Probably due to all this, the competitions faced by manufacturing companies is another factor. So they need to reduce cost of the product. They need, products with increased quality. So they need to revive their processes, manufacturing capabilities, and they need, obviously good product quality and consistency. So they also need to, increase their supply as per the demand of that particular product. Probably decrease production cost for profit margin, and obviously reduce the developmental cost for the products. So these are some of the probable reasons for the innovation. But importantly, for any competitive company, delivering value to the customer remains a primary, goal. These aspirations to create, and or add or deliver value, probably transforms associated methodologies, processes, practices, maybe standards, associated with these, to deliver this value, and obviously the associated technologies. Now, if we talk about technology, if we talk about what technology is, we understand technology can be, it can be defined is a sum of any techniques, skills, or maybe methods and processes used in production of goods or services, or in accomplishment of of objective. So so yeah. So probably I would say defining technology, as per my understanding, is sort of quite challenging. This is similar to a parable of blind men and the elephant. So the blind man and elephant is a story. It goes like a group of blind men who never come across an elephant, and who learn and imagine what elephant is like by touching it. So each blind man feels a different part of elephant's body, but only one part, such as maybe the side, or maybe the tusk of the elephant. So they then describe the elephant based on their limited experience, and their descriptions of the elephant are different from each other. So to cut it short, the moral of the parable is that we humans, have tendency to claim absolute truth based on their limited subjective experience, as they ignore maybe other people's limited subjective experiences, which may be equally true. Uh, so this is analogous to, we could say, to technology. This is analogous to technology. Meaning of technology depends on the end user, their perception, how they use it, or maybe implement it, or probably benefit out of it. But what is important, what we have to understand is, like Professor Moni also said, predominantly understanding of correct implementation of technology becomes significant in this technological transformational era. We might have technologies, we have artificial intelligence, we have blockchain technology, we have so many technologies in hand. But the important part is, do we have people who can implement these technologies? Do we have the workforce to implement these technologies? So it is important to assimilate, how we leverage a specific technology, and its implementation in specific, by determining its use case. So you browse any industry magazine, let's say, and count how many times we come across words like blockchain. We talk about augmented reality. We talk about virtual reality, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, so and so forth. All these things, we come across about technologies. We read about technologies. One important thing, it makes it clear that technology and humans are becoming, entangled like never before, and our reliance on it seems to be only on the rise. But the positive part is to capture these opportunities, created by these technologies. Many companies across the private sector, have embarked on a reorientation of their strategic direction. That is the positive part about it. So let's suppose if we, read about some reports, for example, the Future of Jobs report, which was published in October 2020, which is a recent one. Almost 90% of the companies surveyed may provide more opportunities to work remotely. So today I'm, working remotely, and we are collaborating. We are co-creating something. I'm sitting at my home right now, and I'm using the power of internet, and we are, sharing these ideas. There are people, audience, who are, across the country might be watching. So we never thought this would be possible, but people have realized, companies have realized. So 90% of the companies surveyed may provide more opportunities to work. This is a positive part of it. 87.1% would accelerate their digitalization work processes. That is really important in this era, and a very positive sign. 51.6% may accelerate the digitalization of upskilling and reskilling, owing to the fact they would need a workforce that would, they would need to understand these technologies, and they have realized the companies will need to upskill their workforce. So 51.6% would accelerate the digitalization of upskilling and reskilling, and 48.4% may accelerate the implementation of upskilling and reskilling programs. So full-fledged programs would be dedicated for their workforce to understand new technologies, to be more efficient, in their work. And if you also see some, reports from the same, report of the Future of Jobs report 2020 by World Economic Forum, about technology adoption, which is also, not surprising. 98% of the companies surveyed would adopt cloud computing. 90% may adopt Internet of Things and connected devices. 88% will adopt big data analytics. 81% may adopt artificial intelligence like machine learning, neural networks. And 77% may adopt robots, industrial automation, drones for making their processes efficient, and their companies efficient. And almost 75% may adopt distributed ledger technologies like blockchain. But here I want to emphasize, we need to be considerate about one very important thing, a very essential thing. When we talk about technological renaissance, and we talk about human capital, when we speak about technology and its implementation, certainly we speak about humans at the human capital. They say human ingenuity is at the root of all the shared prosperity. And if you see the word engineer, it has its roots in the Latin word engineer. Pardon my pronunciation, I don't know Latin, but an engineer in the classical world was someone who combined ingenium, meaning genius, cleverness, inspired thought, and engineer, meaning creation, generation, establishing, craftsmanship. So if you see, engineers in the classical sense were literally people who would bridge the world of inspired thought to build and establish marvelous things in the world. I think right now I can comprehend what this classical sense of engineers would mean. Right now I'm sitting at my home and I'm talking to an audience who are very far away from me. They're still, creating a world inspired by, thoughts, and probably we would have some, outcome from all these inspired thoughts. So this would definitely, probably make our lives better, make marvelous things in the world. So technology would be irrelevant if technology is not applied by us. Humans, as engineers, as technocrats, or maybe some other professionals, So it's important, it would be irrelevant to use technology inefficiently. Uh, so when we speak about any technology or technological revolution, we consider, or I should say, we should consider its human-centric significance at its core. For example, it might be difficult right now to establish long-term consequences of this pandemic, or maybe of this ongoing technological disruption on diverse industries. But most importantly, uh, developing and enhancing skills of employees and the youth during this transition will protect one of the key assets of any company, of any organization, or of any country, the human capital. As Professor Moni described, human capital, the knowledge, skills, it includes health that people accumulate over their lives, is a central driver of sustainable growth and poverty reduction. More human capital is associated with higher earnings for people, higher income for countries, and stronger cohesion in societies. But unfortunately, much of the hard-won human capital gains in many economies over the past decade is at risk of being eroded by the COVID-19 pandemic. Uh, you know, uh, and they say, what cannot be measured cannot be improved. Measurement of human capital now has become more important than ever. So how do we measure? So we need to measure, this human capital. So human capital index comes into picture. So it's an international metric that benchmarks the key components of human capital across economies. So human capital was launched in 2018 as a part of Human Capital Project, a global effort to accelerate, progress towards a world where all children can achieve their full potential. Measuring the human capital that a child born today can expect to attain by her 18th birthday. The Human Capital Index highlights how current health and education outcomes shape the productivity of next generation of workers. So, Human Capital Index ranges between 0 and 1. So, the index is measured in terms of productivity of the next generation of workers related to the benchmark of complete education and full health. Let's suppose a child born today can expect to achieve a complete education and full health, will score a value of 1 on the index. But here, there are some surprising, numbers. As per World Bank calculation, based on 2020 update of Human Capital Index, for India, its value is 0.49, concerning. Well, the top three countries being Singapore with the human capital index of 0.88, Hong Kong, the special administrative region of China, is at 0.81, Japan with 0.80 at third number, and at the bottom of the list is Central African Republic with lowest at 0.29. But for our country, at the same time, India, with a working population of around 58 crore people, 31.1% is the NEET rate. NEET rate. NEET rate basically conveys share of youth not in education, employment, or training. So basically, is a part of an agenda of UN as a UN Sustainable Development Goal, as an indicator of progress, which is substantially reduce the proportion of youth not in employment and education or training. It's basically their 2030 agenda. But here we need to emphasize one particular aspect of upskilling or training. If we see the same survey of emerging skills by World Economic Forum in Future of Jobs Report 2020, if we see this survey, skills that are identified as being high in demand within surveyed organization, we don't find skills like programming or technology-oriented skill at the top. Rather, human-centric skills are at the top of the list. Skill that goes on the top of the list is analytical thinking and innovation. Complex problem solving goes next. Active learning and learning strategies. Critical thinking and analysis goes next. Only after resilience, stress tolerance, and flexibility comes, and critical thinking comes design, technology design and programming at sixth position, followed by emotional intelligence, creativity, so on and so forth. And you can also see technology use monitoring at 11th. But here, the emphasis is on human-centric skills, analytical skills, problem solving, active learning, which is very essential to even for using efficient technologies for their use cases, for implementing technologies where they are required, not just for the sake of using technology, but using technologies that have some significance for us. They would solve some problems, global problems, inclusive problems, not rational, for a certain sect of people, or the inclusive part of technology. So emphasizing on this human-centric aspect of technology is very important when automation in tandem with COVID-19. COVID-19 recession is creating a double disruption scenario for workers and the youth looking for employment in general, or maybe aspiring technocrats and engineers looking to learn new skills. So as one of the recent articles titled as Stuck in 1955, Engineering Education Needs a Revolution, was published in a journal, Issues in Science and Technology. So Issues in Science and Technology is a policy journal published by the United States Academies of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine, and Arizona State University. It talks about how 1955 report, commonly referred to as Grinter report, brought about a sea change in the training of engineers in United States and became a foundational document for engineering education that still has a significant influence on the engineering curricula at the undergraduate and graduate levels in US. But after Grinter report, theory replaced practical hands-on work. And this approach has changed very little in the intervening decades. Over the years, it has not changed much, but basic structure of the curriculum remains unchanged. It might be about United States, all these reports, but it is equally applicable to engineering curricula of India, which has not changed much, even though National Education Policy 2020 brought new changes in school education, in higher education, bringing holistic approach, multidisciplinary courses. It talks about inclusive education. But probably keeping curriculums in academic institutes relevant as per the demand from today's technologically transformative industry and society is also challenging. Technologies change so fast and so quickly. Probably technologies that are relevant today might not be relevant in the next year. But the important part is all these reports basically talk about engineering education needs to address the needs of today's digital, diverse, or global and rapidly changing society. The article further talks about we should teach problem solving rather than specific tools, technologies. That's really important. It also there is important part which I as an as an engineering graduate have experienced. It talks about how engineering education promotes competition at all levels. Even though social sciences demonstrate that this doesn't motivate everyone. Projects and exams are designed to be so hard that many students fail, which is described as probably they would say it's a character building. You'll become this is how they promote competition. And so the Grinter report moved the pendulum from hands-on training to or practical training to the side of theoretical and science-based engineering. So now it's time we should move this pendulum in an entirely new direction towards a more human-centric, humanistic approach of engineering, keeping humans at its core, or as it is specified in National Academy of Engineering consensus study report. The report is known as the Engineer of 2020, Visions of Engineering in the New Century. It says in the past, change in engineering profession and engineering education have followed change in technology and society. It followed the change in technology and society. Basically, disciplines were added and curricula were created to meet critical challenges in society and to provide the workforce required to integrate new developments into our economy. But today's landscape is a little different. Society continuously changes. Technological change occurs at a faster and faster pace, and engineering must adapt to remain relevant. Or should the engineering profession anticipate needs in advance and prepare for a future where it will provide more benefit to humankind? Probably we understood it in this pandemic that we should have been prepared before this pandemic, probably to benefit the humankind. I think certainly yes. This is how we should change our curriculum. This is how the education system should foresee the changes that would happen in the future. So all in all, humanizing technological curriculum or engineering education too is the need of hour. Instead of making it only about technological innovations or about technological tools that are not human-centric, rather it should serve an inclusively human-centric purpose. like we saw the skills, emerging skills. At the top is analytical, critical thinking. Problem solving. It should inculcate problem solving intellect, which would probably aid, social cohesion. Uh, Moreover, it needs to consider and address and include aspects that would aid in making technological innovations or technologies that would be inclusive, make human lives easier, not make it unnecessary complex with all these gadgets and gizmos, just for the sake of making it seem like to be technologically advanced, and maybe not marginalized section of society, let's say tech savvy people. And in its conclusion, it says the engineer of 2020 will be faced with myriad of challenges, creating offensive and defensive solutions at the macro and micro scales, in preparation for possible dramatic change in the world, like we faced in this pandemic. Engineers will be expected to anticipate and prepare potential global problems such as recent pandemic, or maybe anything related to global warming. Uh, I think I have said enough. Just to conclude today's topic, to address the substantial challenges faced by the labor market today due to technological disruptions, global recession, and pandemic, we must pursue a holistic approach, creating active linkages and coordinations between diverse stakeholders, technology providers, academia, industry, government, and most importantly, students, and ensure effective collaborative engagements for building this consensus, and make it sure to have actionable outcomes. Uh, you know, uh, we find ourselves at a defining moment. The decisions and the choices we make today, uh, will determine the course of entire generations' lives and livelihoods. We have the tools at our disposal. We have the means to reskill and upskill individuals in an unprecedented numbers. Protect displaced workers and orient them towards the jobs for tomorrow, where they will be able to thrive. However, the efforts, to support those affected by the current crisis and due to these technological disruptions lag behind the speed of this disruption. If this opportunity is missed, we'll face lost generations of adults and youth who will be raised into growing inequality, discord, and lost potential. Uh, this is all from me, Professor Moni. I hope I could justify the topic, and before I will let you, I just want to add an information here. All this was in association with our technology partners, who are helping us, the company, Techro Didactic, which aspires to provide, technology connect. This is being powered by these respected organizations. They are our technology connect partners. So we try to provide this experience that should be learner centric, motivational, innovative, and technology based, and will really help aspiring technocrats to assimilate and demystify, experience transfunctional technologies. I'll just play one video about our company. Uh, if I
Yeah, before that,
Yeah.
you can the one slide before the last one that is
Yeah.
giving a important message to the audience. Can you
Right.
go back to the last but one slide? This one, yes.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute. It is
Yeah.
a very important thing that this is yeah. Next one.
This one,
Next,
sir.
no. Next one. Next one. Yeah,
This.
this is yeah. Next.
This.
No, this is these are you are going to the previous one. I say the last but one.
Okay. Last but one. This is the last but one. This one.
Okay, okay. Now you said that okay, fine, no problem. Carry on.
Yeah. So I was just telling that if I could, just play a video about our company, just to for the audience to understand who we are and what we do. Just to reiterate, you know, uh, just if can you see the video, sir?
No, it is. I'm not able to see the video. It is
Oh,
you are seeing
okay.
the. You have to run it. Maybe that.
Sure, sure. What I can do, I need to. Anyway, it's not important. I
No, no.
need to then
Please,
reshare.
since you mentioned it, please,
Yeah,
do it
sure.
because
I
after
need to
a
stop
very
the.
important, people also should know.
Yeah,
Participants should know what your
sure,
organization is doing.
sure, sure, sure. I'll just stop the sharing and
Okay,
I'll
fine, good,
reshare it.
good, good.
Sure. If my screen is now visible, sir.
Just 1 minute.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Yes.
I don't know if you could hear the.
Didactic, explore technology. Ever since the recent transformation in the industrial world, remaining relevant has become much more important than it has ever been.
You
Innovators
can
and aspiring technocrats need app
hide it.
technology
Hide it.
to set out smoothly and consciously, keeping curriculums in the academic institutes relevant as per the demand from today's technologically transformative industry is challenging. For any competitive company, delivering value to the customer remains a primary goal. Value that can be a better product or service, or process of delivering either of the two. Aspirations to deliver value transforms associated technologies, methodologies, processes, practices, and standards in industries. And all these rapid and innovative disruptions create learning lag. Tackling this learning lag needs a unique and diverse proposition, a holistic approach, tech over didactic, explore technology. It all started with Campus Connect program, a collaborative effort of Automation Industry Association members, AIA, an apex body of industrial automation companies, created competency development centers, incubated in chosen engineering colleges. Continuing this pursuit, a prime collaborator of Campus Connect and a member of AIA, Detroit Control Engineers, a well-known control equipment manufacturer, encouraged a passionate team, didactic systems and software, to promote app technological training equipment and intuitive interoperable training tools. Curiosity and passion of Team Detroit culminated to a new collaborative effort and a co-creation. Tech Rover Didactic, explore technology. Tech Rover Didactic, a blended name inspired by the philosophy of learning and exploration, driven by curiosity. A conscious and purpose-driven startup set out with the aim to bridge the gap between industry and academia in order to make novice technocrats conscious. We connect dots, aspire to build a consensus between academia, technology providers, industry, government, and the students to nurture co-creative and collaborative ecosystem, which would encourage self-reliance among novice technocrats through sustained engagements between diverse stakeholders. Technology Connect, Academia Connect, Industry Connect, Government Connect, Student Connect, and promote transformational technological equipment. Share knowledge of transformational technology, provide industrial expertise and consultancy, create awareness of pioneering government initiatives for competency development, connect students to diverse learning opportunities, and more. Tech Rover Didactic.
This was about our company. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uh, Tabis Harun.
Yeah,
Your wonderful address to the audience,
yeah,
and is a very important address in the present juncture.
yeah,
That you said it that why technological renaissance and the human capital, is to be looked into it, and it is the important of the technology which are emerging, and through your five connects, I was very happy. I was when you were noting down that your
yeah,
technology connect. Today people talk about only technology is emerging, but the
yeah,
thing is that you have to have the human capital generated by industry, academia, collaboration to
right,
make the people to understand as to how to operationalize technology for better return on investment.
absolutely.
Unfortunately, India generates a lot of human power, but the technology innovation
Yeah,
is the thing one has to look into it. Why technologies are not getting developed in this country?
right, right,
I was seeing that 50% of the major R&D centers are in India.
right.
So there was a talk which I quoted that previously it is Intel inside. Now
Yeah,
today India inside.
yeah,
Find the
right.
50 centers of R&D centers of the major technology titans are in India.
Yeah,
Thing is that when do we say that India's intelligence is Intel inside, India's inside, and the
yeah,
technology inside?
right,
And this is more important for having that academia. We have national institutes of importance,
right,
starting from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Indian Institute of Science Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science and Educational Research Institutes, and then Indian Institute of Technologies, Indian Institute of Management, Indian Institute of National Institute of Technology, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Central University, and state premier institutions, and 4,005 engineering, 4,500 engineering colleges, and about 40,000 non-engineering colleges,
right, right.
and so many lakhs of schools in the
Yeah,
country.
yeah,
And you have given two important reports
yeah,
which I was noting down. One is that the Grinter report of 1955,
right.
and how they have replaced over a period, theory has been replaced by practical hands-on.
Hmm.
And then the thing is that the job report 2020 of World Economic Forum, it is an eye opener.
Hmm.
And a Wall Street Journal writes out in a first page that the problem in India is plenty.
Yeah.
75% of the graduates are not eligible for job.
Hmm.
It is not even jobless. They say that it is 75% of the graduates are not employable.
Employability, yeah.
And then above that, NASCOM report says, which was 10 years back, only 25% of the engineering graduates only can be employable.
Yeah.
The thing is that one talks about 75% of the graduates are not employable. And then rather than NASCOM says that, why is it so? How we have to overcome? They say that corroborating that view, 25% of the people, engineering graduates, are not employable, only can be employable.
Right.
You see the investment which the parents invest on engineering education.
Yeah.
And engineering education, and then how people were, over a period, they are not becoming assets but becoming liabilities.
Right.
So in that aspect, and more than that, today's topic, your talk, is an eye opener. It should be, it is an eye opener, and it should be an eye opener, if not for industries, but it is relevant for academic institutions.
Right. Right.
And this is very important. So bringing dollar from abroad is one aspect, but generating technology from India can bring more dollars than the human manpower who can bring from abroad.
Right.
And you also said it very clearly that you need, apart from all technological understanding, you have to have an investment in human capital on 15 emerging skills. Even though there is a Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship development, skill development and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I think this a time has come that every academic institution, irrespective of whether engineering or non-engineering,
Right.
and also that all secondary education schools, have to concentrate on the 15 emerging skills to be imbibed in the emerging students, the future citizens of this country. Human-centric approach.
True.
It is important, and it is very important, and you have touched every aspect of relevance to the your topic. And it is not only a perspective, it is not a view, but you have given a roadmap. It is not only your view, it is not only that it is status report, but you have given that either you do it, otherwise you face the consequences. You will have the last generation. When I was reading your synopsis, I was there whether you made a spelling mistake, whether instead of putting LAST, you put LOST. Then I thought that yes, after you are also putting it that last potential. So I think that you consciously put LOST, not LAST. And this is a very important thing that which today you talked about it. And we are very happy to have I am very happy, and the university is very happy, and the African Asian Rural Development organization is very happy to host this very important topic. For the benefits of the audience, let me summarize your talk. That that you have actually explored the technologies and how it can disrupt jobs, and how we have to get advantage from this disrupting technology by skilling and reskilling people. And you also said it that it's also put it that engineering discipline generates competition,
right?
But Yes, it is good, but the competition can be achieved only through practical hands-on experience. I would like to quote in a very important discussion. 1987, when the former Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, was the Deputy Chairman Planning Commission.
Okay.
And that time, we were all part of, the Planning Commission, National Informatics Center. We were transferred from Department of Electronics to Planning Commission to have information technology, to promote information technology up to the district level.
Right.
And there was a meeting chaired by the Dr. Manmohan Singh as the Deputy Chairman Planning Commission. They called the directors of 5 IITs. And that time it was Mumbai and Chennai, Kharagpur, Kanpur, and Delhi. Now every state has got one IIT. So what is needed for next 50 years? Advanced research by these 5 IITs. There is a one-day deliberation. And then at the end, after inaugural one, and Dr. Raja Challaya, as a member of the Planning Commission, was chairing the meeting. And the evening, as a summarization, a startling revelation given by the director of IIT Mumbai. I would like to quote that in what way IITs are different from other engineering colleges. So it is Indian Institute of Technologies. How many technologies have been generated and which has facilitated Indian economy? And we also conduct a 4 years program, and then we give certificates. That's it. We are not in a position to, the students were not in a position to soil their hands. Even at the BTech level, they are not in a position to have patents developed from IITs. So it is a thing that when a rain stops, even the kids from the houses, they used to come out and they used to mold huts with the wet sand over their feet, depending upon their imagination. And then other kids will come and jump over it and destroy it. And that type of the instinct has to be developed, killer instinct, for the kids to generate. They have to soil their hands. And today's technology, day before yesterday, I was participating in a webinar series. One founder of a kids entrepreneur, startup from Singapore, was like that. Their motive is to go and find out the innovative spirit of young kids and motivate in their own area how they can be made entrepreneurs from the kids level onwards. So it is in that way that investment in human, investment in human to generate human capital is the need of the hour. It is very important. And you said it about 15 technologies, 15 emerging skills. I would like to request you that this is the Sobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology is the only university located in Meerut, is focused on technology-based development and these human resources development in the areas of agriculture, health, and industries. Set up 5 centers of excellence. And the Center for Agricultural Informatics, and Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. They're all for skill and reskilling and technology applications and train the, generating human capital. My request to you is that why don't you join with the university to generate certification program in the 15 areas where you mentioned the emerging skills to be inculcated, imbibed in students, in engineering graduates who are inside the campus and outside the campus. For all the youths who would like to become an entrepreneur, would like to develop startups. So we have to generate human capital, invest in human capital. What is your view on this? That why don't we join together and develop a certification program and or a diploma program, because 15 areas of emerging skill, and your startup is doing wonderful and it is need of the hour, and both of us have to join together and to bring in from the grassroots level in the rural India, that why can't we create that human capital and bring in technology renaissance in them? What is your takeaway? Please unmute.
Yeah. So when we speak about entrepreneurs are, why we call them entrepreneurs? They are problem solvers. So for a problem solver, technology can be a means to solve a problem, but at the core is the critical thinking, the analytical thinking, the human-centric capabilities to understand those technologies. As far as our technology connect partners are concerned, all these are designed some marvelous technological learning systems that help to inculcate these technologies in a pedagogical way, to have short learning curves. So what I see is we don't only need to have center of excellences for specific technologies, but we need to imbibe problem solving capabilities also. Our startup is we as a startup are connecting dots. I would say we just connect dots. We understand there are many companies, there are many capable people all over the globe, doing fantastic jobs. They have all the capabilities, but obviously we need to bring them and on a platform, on a same platform, and leverage those technologies and their thought processes and their technologies and their way of teaching or training people. That is the need of an hour. So we don't rely only on a technology. Obviously, we also look them as experts, as industrial experts, as academicians, as professors. The knowledge they have, not only the technology they would deliver, but the experience they would carry and bring it to on the table. So yeah, definitely, like you said, Shobhit University is doing a wonderful job by creating these center of excellences, and definitely, as a startup, we would look forward to collaborate and, like I said, co-create something that would be really helpful for aspiring engineers and aspiring technocrats that are looking to set out, that started their careers and looking out for new jobs. So definitely, we would look forward and see how we can collaborate and see how we can bring these technology connect partners like we have right now. And we are just a startup. We are expanding day by day, and we are looking out for new people, new collaborators, new people who can collaborate and to add to this ecosystem and create a wonderful things for this world, for the future. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. The thing is that why I raised this issue is that
Yeah.
in this webinar series,
Yeah.
50, today is the 50th edition.
And I'm fortunate
And
one. Yeah.
and then it is a very important topic, and other webinar series which is on doubling farmers income by 2022, that is on
Yeah.
every Thursday at 11 o'clock. So
Okay.
there also we completed 50 edition. Now there are two verticals with 50 speakers and 50 speakers and 100 speakers.
Yeah.
So it is, one is on agriculture, another in is the technology in how to make self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar
Yeah.
Bharat.
Okay.
And they have become like a think tank, and we
Yeah.
are now associated with the university, so with the Institute of Engineering and Technology.
Hmm.
And the startup, it is that it is a very important startup that you are looking into a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Your vision is how to co-create
Yeah.
and how to cooperate, and
Yeah.
also to do connect, technology connect, industry connect,
Yeah.
academia connect, and
Yeah.
government connect,
Right.
and then the student connect.
Yeah.
So instead of here student, we should put youth, because youth
Right.
is a vibrant.
Right.
And this is very important. And you also said it that 15 emerging skills are more important. So you
Right.
have a separate ministry of skills development, skill and entrepreneurship development.
Yeah.
And and then there is in NCT of Delhi, they have even established a university for skill and entrepreneurship development. But
Yeah.
the thing is that like you startup, you have put it, and
Yeah.
then you have shown that is much beyond an university can visualize.
Yeah.
See, you as a startup, you are now, is not only you are putting the dots, you are not only 5 dots, there are, each dot is a value system.
Right.
And I also would like to quote, that's why during my inaugural address, I said it that, one of the talk which is given by Dr. Jababala Vinancharachi, he was a former principal advisor to the Director General UNIDO. He said that seizing the opportunities,
Hmm.
in open innovation,
Yeah.
for open innovation
Right.
and value creation network
Yeah.
in digitalized world,
Hmm.
for self-reliant, economy. So seizing opportunities for open innovation is more
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
And this is where the skills, the 15 areas where you put it, you may understand technology, you may do a lot of technological applications and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But in order to bring in your potential energy to a kinetic energy,
Yeah.
or the latent heat of energy,
Hmm.
it is very important to train the people, this in 15 emerging skills, which is essential. So
Yeah.
that's why my request is that why can't we join together to have some sort of a certification program or a diploma program, and whatever the way in which you would like to do, to be conducted through, or provided through, or offered through these two centers of excellence.
Sure.
So with
Sure.
this, I would like to thank you that seizing opportunities, in open innovations, or for open innovations, and value creation network are, is very important. And then I will also would like to add it that through co-creation and cooperation is more important. It's very important. With this, I would like to thank you for speaking from Srinagar. You said it is raining for the last 2 days, and it's very cold, and hope that technology facilitates. So technology, you said it, electricity and internet, it's very important, which has facilitated us, and without any disruption. And thank you very much. And I would like to have your continued cooperation with the university to bring in these wonderful ideas to the young generation. Thank you very much.
Sure. Sure.
So with this, we will close the webinar and leave studio. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.